Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the Marvel Legends Hasbro PulseCon 2023 reveals. Oof! If anything warranted the full model behavior intro, this was it. And gang, first of all, I gotta say, full disclosure, I'm a couple of strong zeros deep, so this episode, it might be Mr. Toad's wild ride. Because honestly, if you're watching this right now, you're not watching it for the news, because guess what? You've probably seen it already. Because I'm sorry, I had the greatest intentions to get up at 3 a.m. to do this live stream style and do the watch along, but then honestly, fate intervened. It was actually one of my colleagues' leaving parties the previous night. So we were all downstairs, we were living at large, we were keeping it real, we were hopping on the good foot and doing the bad thing. It was a great time, and I went to bed a little bit merry at around about 10:30. Super early, I know, but I had to be up at 3 o'clock to do the Hasbro Pulse live stream. And then what happened? I heard a knock on my door. When? At 2 in the morning. So I dragged myself out of bed, and it's one of my colleagues in the house who borrowed some money from me, like coming to pay it back. And I'm like, dude, it's 2 in the freaking morning. To which she replies, yeah, but I haven't been to bed yet. That's neither here nor there. Nonetheless, though, at 2 in the morning, I felt so tired and still, honestly, slightly tipsy, and I thought, you know what, I will not be fit to do a live stream at 3 a.m. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to do an after party recap, and then you can just get my commentary on stuff, because you're not watching this for the news. I accept that. You've seen it already, but you haven't heard Dave's thoughts yet. But don't worry, I'm right here with him, so let's talk about him. First up, before we get on to the No Way Home stuff, which is what we were kind of expecting, we gotta talk about the, I was gonna say Avengers wave, but is it an Avengers wave? This is quite possibly the most eclectic, random, bonkers wave of figures that Marvel Legends have ever done. And honestly, I'm not mad about it at all. Like, this is kind of cool to get such a diverse range of characters. The only problem is that you have a Build-A-Figure, and ideally, if you want the Build-A-Figure, you'd want to buy characters that are specifically related to that Build-A-Figure. But in this case, like, they're just going all over the shop. Nonetheless, though, the Build-A-Figure, the Build-A-Figure is the Void. And I would have never, ever expected the Void as a Build-A-Figure. This is freaking awesome. So let's take a little look at the figures one by one, shall we? First of all, we've got, I forget his name, but I'm going to say Feral Namor, like Caveman Namor. I haven't read this comic book where this version of Namor is from. It's not Avengers like 1 million BC. I know that that's a thing. I don't think that's this version of Namor, or is it? Guys, honestly, help me out in the chat, because I'm struggling. I don't know. He looks cool. A problem with this, though, is because he's got the long hair, you can't angle his head back all the way to get a good swimming pose, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, though, I think the sculpting on the arm braces and on the shin guards, they look great. Like, they really do look nice. It looks as though he's just the one-off, like no extra heads, nothing else. It's basic in that regard, and it's the old body with pins as well. However, the trident, by the way, Tri being 3, Aquaman, DCEU, take note. The trident looks great. It's big and imposing. I don't know where this guy would go in a display, though, but honestly, wherever he does go, he's gonna look kind of cool, actually. But then we got what I'm real excited about. Namorita, yes, or Namorita. There you go. Whoa, check myself there before I wreck myself. That's what Fred Durst taught us. Always check yourself before you wreck yourself. Ooh, that's tart. Namorita. So it goes straight into your new Warriors display. A little bit frustrating, and that this is just me. Marvel Legends team, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be that guy, and I hate being that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. Yes, this is Namorita. It's not the version I wanted. I wanted the green swimming costume, more classic looking version of Namorita, and you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know where this red and white one fits in most appropriately. So guys, let me know, is this... She was never in the Avengers, was she? Or was she? When did she wear the red and white? Because I'm just thinking about mid-90s New Warriors. And mid-90s New Warriors, she was always bedecked in her more sort of fish-scaly green costume. So I don't know what this particular one is in reference to. Nonetheless, though, she does look like a nice, well put together figure. So I'll give her that, you know. Although one thing I always find with the swimmers, I found with the original Prince Namor as well, the ankles look a little thick for a swimmer, and that's just something that's just the way the bodies are put together, but I was always aware of it. Then we got what I call Marvel Knights Black Panther, and hoo-ha! I don't need this guy. I've got the Revoltech Black Panther. I'm fine. I'm fully Black Panthered up. However, if you don't have a Black Panther, this is a good looking Black Panther right here. Back in 1998, I want to say. Help me out, guys. If it's not 1998, I'd appreciate being corrected. They did the whole Marvel Knights push where they had Daredevil, Black Panther, Inhumans, and Punisher. And Black Panther had his own slightly more grim and gritty, urban, street level Marvel Knights series. And he was rocking this kind of badass costume with the gold accents. Looks very Batman. A full body black costume with some gold accents. You can't help but think of Tim Burton Batman. Nonetheless, though, with the cape and the claws, I love the gold claws. They just really stand out. I got to say, if you don't have a Black Panther already, this would be a great one to go for. I like this dude. I like him a lot. I'm very impressed with this. Then we got Vision. And we saw Vision previewed at San Diego Comic-Con. So we're getting another look at him here. And again, I've got the retro Vision. I think I've got him behind me. There he is. And I like him. He's fine. There's not enough of a difference for me to want to upgrade. However, I do appreciate that this Vision behind me, he was like rocking horse poop. He was real hard to come by. So to actually get a brand new version, it's appreciated. It really is. Then we got Justice. And just like with Namorita, it's what I want, but it's not exactly what I want. Because this is a more modern Justice costume. I would have kind of liked the 90s Justice to get the 90s New Warriors so I can incorporate them into my Clone Saga display, because ultimately everything goes back to the Clone Saga on this channel. If you don't like that, you're watching the wrong action figure channel. Okay? But yeah, no, this Justice still looks good though. We've seen him before though. And then we've got Power Lady? I forgot her name. It's not Power Lady. Power Princess. I think it's Power Princess. There you go. It's not Wonder Woman. So from the Squadron Supreme, we have not Wonder Woman, Power Princess. And yeah, we said before with San Diego Comic-Con, I'm not going to repeat myself. Time's money. I'm not going to waste yours. I appreciate this is more of a rambly video. But again, you're not here for the facts. Yeah, you're just here for the bants. Power Princess looks nice. San Diego Comic-Con, we already saw her. Same with, oh gosh, Crystal. When you're buying a Crystal action figure, you're buying a Crystal action figure. When you're buying a Crystal action figure, you are buying Crystal. That's a little, that's a little quote from a movie. Tell me in the comments if you know what movie that's from. And then we got the big boy. We've got the man himself, the Void. Honestly, of all the modern characters, and when I say modern, I mean post-2000. Of all the modern characters that Marvel have introduced, Sentry is actually one of my favorites. I'd go so far as to say, he's a boy. He's one of my boys. He's in my boy stable. I love the Sentry. He's such a flawed, awkward, basically, character who's so immensely powerful, but crippled by his own anxieties as well. It's an amazing story and character arc. And the Void, the dark side of the Sentry, this is beautiful. As soon as I saw the crab legs, that's when my brain went, because again, I didn't watch the live stream. I was fast asleep in the land of Nod, and for that I do not apologize. A man's guts to sleep. And then I woke up and I didn't see what this was, but I saw the crab legs and I was like, Is that the Mother Love and Void? I think it is. And it is. And he looks great. And if ever a figure warranted being a Build-A-Figure, this is it. This is it right here. This is what Build-A-Figures should be. Oh, Hasbro, yes! Awesome! This is how we do it. This is what a Build-A-Figure should be. Big, imposing, chunky, chonky. This is what I'm talking about. Again, it's difficult for me to get Marvel Legends over here in Japan, so I probably won't go in on this wave because it's just not practical for me to get hold of them. But if I was in the UK, yeah, you know what? I think I would get this wave, and I would probably get it just for the Build-A-Figure, because all of those Void, it's very oh gosh, what's the name of the guy who did the Cthulhu mythology? Awful person. I forget. Nonetheless, though, it's that kind of Cthulhu type, visuals, which just works so well. This is really cool. It's a good wave. But it's a random ass wave. Like, this is just the most random hodgepodge of characters to put together. But nonetheless, though, they've done it, and there are some good figures there. Okay, that's the extra wave taken care of. Now let's get on over to something that we have been waiting about 2 years for, and that is the No Way Home wave, the proper No Way Home wave, where they're not just sticking any old random crap in it to call it a No Way Home wave. Yeah, I calls them like I sees them, but in doing that, I call this one a pretty freaking awesome looking wave. Okay, let's look at this. First of all, let's just tackle Dr. Octopus, because he is the only one who hasn't had official publicity pictures released yet. They've only shown him on the live stream, but they've shown all they need to. He looks really good. The tentacles look massive. They look huge, and the work and design that's gone into making them just tessellate in place, it looks really beautiful. Honestly, I think that's just what. Wow, this is like going back to the old 2020 days. Remember that, the drunken live streams? Woof! We ain't going back there in a hurry, but this is just a little one-off because I wanted to get this video out and talk about this exciting stuff, because dang it, I enjoy being excited. So yeah, the Alfred Molina face sculpt looks terrific. Honestly, I'll say this now. I was going to save it for the Green Goblin reveal, but F it, I'll say it now. And I said F it. I'm keeping it family friendly. Even Guardians of the Galaxy gets an F-bomb. But nonetheless, Marvel Legends face sculpts eat the lunch of any other face sculpts out there. I'm saying it. SH Figure Arts, get in the bin. All right? No time. All right? Marvel Legends face sculpts. And this is not me being a Marvel Legends fanboy. You know that I berate this company as much as I do praise them. Probably more so. However, I gotta say, the Willem Dafoe face sculpt, the Alfred Molina face sculpt, they just look... You guys have nailed it. I guess from all the money that you've saved from farting out the same Bucky Cap mold time and time again, it's allowed you to invest that money in incredible face sculpts. I mean, my goodness, there, if there was ever a backhanded compliment, there you go. That's one there for you. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. The Alfred Molina face looks terrific. The tentacles look great. As a whole package put together, this is bee's knees. I'm really impressed with Doc Ock. And baby, that's just the start. Because we also have the Green Goblin. And holy potatoes, this guy looks terrific. So, the Green Goblin, honestly, I don't need to say anything. I could just quite happily sit here and just, remain silent while you look at the pictures. And honestly, they speak for themselves. I'm pretty redundant here because dang it, holy moly, this is fantastic. This is just Hasbro, bravo. Dan, Dwight, Ryan, anyone else involved, everyone, the sculptors, the production people, the caretaker, the person who replaces the lavatory roll, everyone. Y'all done killed it. This is what MCU Marvel Legends should look like, baby. And I know you're not exactly sat at home going, oh, thank you, Model Behavior, you said something nice. Oh, it means so much. I know. But just for what it's worth, this is... yes. Okay, so you can see from the full-on image here, you got like Willem Dafoe, and again, like I just said, the Willem Dafoe face, it's crazy, it's brilliant, it's absolutely fantastic. You got the SH Figure Arts one where he's like, what's going on? This look on my Chevy Chase. I'm all like, oh, what's happening? And then Marvel Legends were like, nah, we don't want confused Willem Dafoe. We want psycho, scary Willem Dafoe. And boom, they got it. This looks absolutely fantastic. This is the smiling, grinning, evil Green Goblin that we want. Yes! Nailed it. And then you got the Goblin mask as well, so you can have the two different looks. I mean, that's just fantastic. At first I didn't think they were going to include it, but they did. And you can put it on and it looks the bomb, man. And also, I didn't even say, I've buried the lead. $50. $50. And look, I know I probably shouldn't. Congratulations, Hasbro. You've conditioned me. I'm like a little guinea pig hitting the feeder pellet. You've conditioned me to go, oh, $50. Oh, that's a good price. Thank you. But I mean, I am. I mean, granted, yeah, should this really? Should this be more like $35? I think it should be more like $35. Yet I've been so beaten down with insane prices that I'm going, hey, $50! I don't feel completely ripped off. But I don't feel completely ripped off. So there you go. I'm a victim of conditioning. But I've been conditioned to go, you know what? I would happily pay $50 for this. I paid $50 for the Hawkeye Sky Cycle, and I would pay $50 for this. A lot of engineering and work has gone into the glider, and look at that. Look at that Willem Dafoe face sculpt. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really impressed with this. The only thing is, I don't need an extra Green Goblin, because I've got two Spider-Man displays on the go. I've got Classic Comic Book, which has the retro Green Goblin, and I've got Miscellaneous, which will have the Mezco when it finally releases in 2026, and then also a Mezco Green Goblin in 2030. So, I don't know, maybe this guy could fill that Goblin gap in the meantime. But I gotta say, this is a win. This, I might have to get him because he could conceivably be the Marvel Legend of the Year, 2023. So with that in mind, I think I have to pick him up. Then to round out the villains, we have the Sandman, and this is honestly, it's kind of underwhelming. It's fine. It's perfectly fine, and it's what I would expect, because the Sandman, you know, he's not like a massively featured character in No Way Home. He's one of the extra bad guys, I feel, and you know, you weren't gonna do a crazy, insane, giant sand monster. That would have required like a HasLab to do like a giant, like Spider-Man 3 ending at the fight scene type giant thing. You know what I'm talking about. They weren't going to do that, and I probably wouldn't have bought it if they did. So a regular human-sized Sandman does make the most sense, but it also means that it's like, it's not going to drop your jaws, but at the same time, like, I mean, that looks like Thomas Christensen? I know that Thomas Hayden Church is Anakin Skywalker, but his name is something like that, isn't it? It's like Thomas Hayden Church, but it's not Thomas Hayden Church. You guys will tell me in the comments, and I will appreciate that as well. Nonetheless, though, what I'm trying to say is it looks like him, which is great. So it's a perfectly good realization of the character, and the fact that you've got the giant sand hands, so you can at least make him a little bit larger than life, like that works quite well. And you got the forearm pieces as well, just like they did with the retro Spider-Man wave. So that actually works out pretty well for the Sandman. So he doesn't blow me away, but at the same time he looks decent. And honestly, for who this character is, for what this figure is, decent is perfectly fine. Now we got ourselves a couple of civilians, and this isn't too exciting, to be honest, or for me. For me, it's not too exciting. It might be exciting for you, and if it is, I'm happy for you. So we got Matt Murdock here, the man who is a very good lawyer, or a really good lawyer, whatever that line was. I loved it. I love that little Matt Murdock cameo. That was great. And this is a perfectly decent Matt Murdock. It's definitely for the collector who has to have everything. Because obviously he's just a dude in a suit. I can imagine there were probably a lot of people in the live chat going like, "Oh, this is going to be a peg warmer." But I mean, to be honest, it it might be. It's only the super hardcore collectors who, to the super hardcore collectors, it's like, well, that's Matt Murdock from No Way Home. But to your average kid just walking into a toy store, it's like, well, that's a man in a suit. So, yeah, that's just one for the hardcores. But to be fair, like, isn't it awesome that the hardcores are being catered to? That's not a bad thing. And then we've got Zedenya as well. It is Zedenya? That is how you pronounce the name, isn't it? Mary Jane. And yeah, this is really well done. I mean, again, I'll sing it till the cows come home. That's not really an expression. Nonetheless, though, I will sing it until the cows come home. Marvel Legends face sculpts, baby. Look at that. That is Zedenya. Right there. I'm sticking with Zedenya. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, it looks fantastic. She's beautiful, and the figure is a beautiful representation of the character. So, yeah, they nailed it. I mean, look at that. Come on. Shut the front door. McFarlane, get out. NECA, not today. Hasbro Marvel Legends. You nailed it. And you know me, I will talk trash until the cows come home. Just like The Rock, I'll talk trash in my sleep about Marvel Legends, but when they do good, they do good. And this, it's really, really good. Just fantastic. So for me, it wouldn't be an essential. It's if you want to be a completionist for your MCU, if you want to have all the civilian characters, then, well, you got to have MJ. And this is a great version of her. So yeah, go buy it. And now we got the big dogs, the 3 Spider-Men who we knew were going to get extra versions of. They did the 3-pack, which of course didn't have the unmasked heads, and there were always the rumors and the scuttlebutt that was what was coming next. Well, guess what? That was what came next. So first of all, we have the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2002. Oof, that takes me back, baby. I was 21 years old and had all the potential in the world, and guess what? Now, almost 20 years later, we're here, and dang it, I nailed it. So yeah, this figure, it's not that different, obviously, from what came in the 3-pack. And that means that it does have some drawbacks, because some people said the eyes didn't seem quite right, the lenses didn't sort of look right. For me, I didn't notice. I thought they were okay. The Tobey Maguire head sculpt, again, like, this isn't going to surprise you, I think looks terrific. What is a bit of a disappointment is that he has fist hands and he has thwip hands. But where are the wall crawling hands? I'm sorry, but if you are doing a Spider-Man character, then he needs to have the thwip, the fist, and the wall crawling. If he doesn't have that, then dang it, he just feels like he's not quite complete. At least you have this fantastic head sculpt. That in itself makes it worthwhile. If you got the 3-pack, you probably don't want to buy him just for the head sculpt. But nonetheless, though, I don't have that. So to get the 3 Spider-Men together, I'm tempted. Then, of course, we have the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man with his ludicrously thick and bouffant hairstyle, which I'm just jealous of because, let's face it, I'm losing the battle, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why I wear this baseball cap. But this guy, yeah, again, looks great. And even though The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is probably the worst Spider-Man, like, pretty objectively, I think people agree that's the worst Spider-Man movie, he arguably had the best Spider-Man costume. This is the most comic accurate Spider-Man costume I think that we've seen on the big screen. So to have that is terrific. And again, the Andrew Garfield face sculpt, he looks the bomb. And yeah, seeing Spidey in a proper Spidey pose with the big eyes as well. Yeah, I do dare say this is the best Spider-Man costume. And you see they're mixing up the hands with him. He's got 2 thwips, he's got a fist, and he's got a hand. That's literally what I would call that, like, what's going on kind of hand. That's what he's got there, but you know what? Everything put together, by heck, Marvel Legends, it's another great looking figure. And finally, we didn't know if we were ever going to get it, but dang it, we got it. It is the final swing suit. This is pretty cool right here, although I've got to admit, at first I thought, is that like a mistake or something? Because I thought that it didn't have any webs going across. I thought it only had down webs and no across webs. And then I realized just with this design, The across webs are really spaced out very far. And I appreciate that that is probably just exactly what was on the screen. And so Hasbro just went with that, and here it is. But I gotta say, I think it looks kind of odd. I think they need like at least 20% more cross webs. But that's a real minor gripe for what is the ultimate on-screen Spider-Man costume. I was saying the previous Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume was the best realization we've had of a Spider-Man costume. Nah! It really is this, and that's what they were going for. They wanted to tease the audience with like, you know what, you've had this whole setup and the whole Avengers, Iron Man stuff. No, we finally got proper Spider-Man. Here he is! The end. It's like, are we gonna get any movies with that guy? I don't know, maybe. So yeah, hopefully we will see this costume in a proper full feature-length endeavor, because it looks great. It looks really, really good, even if it does have not quite enough cross webs going on there. But the Andrew Garfield face sculpt, yeah, wonderful. Really, really good. And again, he's got the combination of hands that he should have. He's got the fists, the thwip, and the wall crawling. So the fact that he has them and the other ones don't, that's not great. Although, at least looking at all, I mean, look at that picture. That's just, you know, you could look at that and think, oh, that's an import figure. No, it's not. It's Marvel Legends. It's $25. That, you know, say what you will about Marvel Legends, and Lord knows I do. It looks decent. It looks decent, and I gotta say that I'd be very tempted to pick him up. You know what? In fact, I think I will. And folks, that does it for the Marvel Legends recap. What do you think about the items shown? There was also one more as well. They had the fan vote right at the end, and they showed that the winner was the Red Widow, a character that I'm not remotely familiar with. So I got to do a little bit of research to find out who that is, but that's someone who won the vote, and we will be seeing an action figure form very soon. But gang, there's so much more to still speculate on. We got, is it New York Comic Con or California, LA? I don't know. There is a Comic Con coming soon, so there's always going to be more reveals. And you got to bear in mind, we haven't got MCU Electro, we haven't got the Lizard. There are other MCU characters that we still need from Spider-Man. So I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might get some more reveals coming up before the end of the year. But gang, thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe button. So gang, thank you so much for that. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.